Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Happy Valentine's Day, lovely people. I thought to do a Valentine's special today on the book Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. This book, honestly, I feel like it's been so healing to me because prior to reading this book, I feel like there was a lot of things that I did not understand about men. Even my own feelings on my own needs as a woman. It's been really eye-opening. I'm just going to share the content of the book and I'm hoping that you definitely go and buy it. And this book particularly is for the girls and the guys who grew up in single parent homes where, for instance, maybe you didn't have a father in your life to be a role model or a mother in your life to be a role model. This book will really help you. And I personally believe that if you're married, you need this book. If you're in a relationship, you need this book. Maybe, just maybe, you can buy this book as a Valentine present for your partner because I think it's so beautiful. I feel like one thing about this book, especially for the women, is it helps us take accountability for our emotions and how we feel. So here are the content. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Mr. Fix-It and the Home Improvement Committee. Men go to their caves and women talk. Yo, ladies, chapter 3 about men going to their caves and women talk. If you're that woman with anxious attachment, if you know what I'm talking about, especially when you're in relationships and you feel anxious when your man withdraws, this one is for you. Because in the past, I used to think that when a man would withdraw from me or when my boyfriend at the time would withdraw from me, I used to think it was personal, but it actually really wasn't. It was just that men do have their own caves and they tend to go into their caves when they are feeling overwhelmed. Content 4, how to motivate the opposite sex. 5, speaking different languages. 6, men are like rubber bands. 8 is discovering our different emotional needs. 9, how to avoid arguments. 10, scoring points with the opposite sex. This one shocked me the most. I didn't know that as women, sometimes subconsciously, we score points. Like, oh, did he do this? Okay, let me give him a score point for that. Men do it as well. Men score points, you know? Personally, what I believe about this scoring points, that it's not about like a competition or anything. This is just something that the male and the female do subconsciously. Sometimes people are like conscious of it. When I was reading this part, I actually thought to myself, like, there are times I've done this. There are times that I have thought about things this way. There are times I've been like, oh, I'm going to score him a point if he does this, and I'm going to deduct a point if he does this. Recently, I caught myself doing it. So this is such a real thing. If you were to sit down and reflect as a man or a woman, you would actually catch yourself doing this sometimes. 11 is how to communicate difficult feelings. 12 is how to ask for support and get it. 13 is keeping the magic of love alive. Two of the things that have stood out the most for me in this book is actually learning that sometimes we women, we talk to men like we're talking to our girlfriends, and men do not typically hear us when we talk to them like we're talking to our girlfriends. It's crazy, I know, but it's just the truth because men think differently. Now I realize, especially with past partners, when they would typically go away to their cave, I used to think that it was rejection. I used to think it was all about me, but it really wasn't. And I feel like even in dating, it's honestly calmed my nerves because if the man doesn't talk to me for a day or two, good. If he doesn't talk to me for a week, fair enough, we're not married. Or even if it was a serious relationship with someone I was talking to, whatever it is, I'm not feeling that anxiety like that. And even if it comes about, right, I'm able to be like, well, it's not about me. At the end of the day, it's about this person, it's about this individual. So I think it's amazing. And one of the other things I've really learned from this book as well is how to process my feelings and my emotions. One thing I've taken out of this book particularly is writing letters about your feelings, right? It talks about expressing yourself in sadness, anger, love, regret, and I think joy. I think I might be wrong with the 5th one, but either way, I think it's such a good way to process your feeling, especially if you're feeling angry at a partner, at your father, at God, at a friend. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, there was a time where I was feeling so angry at God while reading this book. All I had to do was write that letter and my mood changed instantly. And just so you know as well, right? When I started reading this book, I had to come to a place of honestly reflecting. So I really think that if you're ready to heal your emotions, your inner child, those things that are usually bottled up in your subconscious, this is the book. This book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Hey, I'm not saying that you're going to change tomorrow, because we all know this, and I always say this in my videos. Change does not mean you change instantly, right? There are some times that yes, some things click and your subconscious shift to a point where you start doing things differently immediately because you're now aware of this. But we're human, and remember that healing is linear. So some days you're going to be good and some days not. So it's okay if you're not seeing results immediately. But I can say, for someone who I used to have an anxious attachment in friendships and relationships, ever since I read this book, especially even while dating, it's really kept me sane. And every time I remember, it's not about me. It's about this individual. And if you're someone that you struggled with men, if you're someone that you didn't grow up with a father, you didn't grow up with a mother, if you're a man and you didn't grow up with a mother, that means you don't necessarily understand a woman's language, especially if you grew up around men and there was no woman to be a role model to you on how a woman should be, or how a woman speaks or expresses herself. Or you could be a girl that did not grow up with a father, right? And you don't have the right role model for you to understand and know how men move, how men speak, what men want to hear, what men need, right? This is the book. This book literally talks about on what we women need and what men need as well. Sometimes we think men need certain things, but we'll be shocked to find out that actually what we're trying to offer them is not what they need, and vice versa. So hey, if you're looking and ready to heal that emotion and getting ready to date in a healthy way, this is the book. Go and buy it.